I had given up so much for Ethan. My career, my independence, my chance to prove I could stand on my own. I told myself it was worth it because marriage was supposed to be a partnership. But that night, standing outside his study door, I realized how wrong I was. I heard his voice through the crack. "She's pathetic, Vanessa. I only married her because she was convenient." My heart stopped. Vanessa's laugh rang out. "Convenient? That's cruel." "It's the truth," Ethan said, casually. "She was quiet, obedient, easy to control. But you make me feel alive." The world tilted under me. My knees shook, but I pushed the door open. "Convenient?" My voice trembled. "That's all I was to you." Ethan's eyes widened for a moment before he leaned back in his chair, smirking. "So you heard?" Vanessa crossed her arms unbothered. "You weren't supposed to listen in." I stared at her, then at him. "I gave you everything. I trusted you. I built my life around you." Ethan shrugged. "Your mistake, not mine." "My mistake?" My voice cracked. He stood walking toward me slowly. "You quit your job. You moved into my house. You made yourself dependent. That was your choice, wasn't it?" I backed up a step. "'Cause I believed in us. I believed in you." "Look where that got you." Smirk deepened. Tears burned my eyes. "Do I mean nothing to you?" Vanessa leaned against the desk, smiling faintly. "Don't beg. It's not attractive." My stomach twisted. How long has this been going? And Ethan didn't even hesitate. "Almost a year. Does it matter now?" "Da-da-da." "A year," I whispered, my chest hollow. "And you let me live in your lie." "It wasn't a lie," he said flatly. "It was comfort. Until it got boring." The words sliced deeper than any blade. "You could have told me," I whispered. "You could have been honest instead of humiliating me." Ethan's tone hardened. "Why should I? Everything here is mine. The house, the business, the money. You brought nothing." My throat closed. "Nothing. I gave you my love. My loyalty. Love doesn't pay bills." He interrupted. "And loyalty doesn't buy property. This house was never yours and it never will be." I stared at him, shaking. "So what are you saying?" "I'm saying," he said calmly, "pack your things and leave. This house is mine. Always was." Vanessa smiled, satisfied. At least he's honest now. I felt the floor slip from beneath me. My hands trembled as I whispered, "I'm pitiful. This house is yours. I'll go." The words tasted like poison. In my mouth, Ethan didn't stop me. He didn't even flinch. He simply turned back toward Vanessa as though I were already gone. I staggered to the bedroom, my vision blurred. I pulled out a suitcase and stuffed clothes into it with shaking hands. Every corner of the room reminded me of what I had sacrificed: the framed wedding photo, the books I had given up reading because he thought they were silly, the career, suit tucked away at the back of the closet. Footsteps approached. Vanessa leaned against the doorway. "Do you know how pathetic you look right now?" I froze, my hand on the suitcase zipper. She tilted her head. "Ethan doesn't love you. He never did. You should accept it." Tears blurred my vision, but I forced my voice steady. "One day, you'll regret this." She laughed lightly. "I doubt it." I zipped the suitcase shut and pushed past her. Downstairs, Ethan stood by the door. His eyes were cold. "Don't make a scene. Just leave quietly." I wanted to scream, to throw something, to make him feel the fire raging in my chest, but all I could do was whisper, "You destroyed me." He didn't respond. I walked out, dragging the suitcase behind me. The night air was sharp against my skin. I stopped at the edge of the driveway, staring back at the house. The place I once thought was home now stood like a prison I had finally escaped. My phone buzzed. It was Lily. Her voice shook through the line. "Where are you? You sound broken." "I'm leaving," I whispered. "The house, it was never mine." "Come here," she said quickly. "Don't be alone tonight." I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. "'Kay?" I pulled the suitcase into the dark, my legs trembling with every step. Behind me, the house glowed with warm lights, but inside it was colder than winter. And for the first time, I realized I had nothing left, nothing but myself. My hands shook as I stuffed clothes into the suitcase. Every drawer I opened sounded louder than thunder in the silence. Behind me, Ethan's voice was calm. "Take what you need. Don't drag this out." I turned, trembling. "So that's it. Years together, and you won't even try to stop me." His eyes were blank. "You wanted the truth. Now you have it. Leave with dignity." Dignity. I laughed bitterly. "After you called me pathetic to your mistress?" Footsteps clicked behind him. Vanessa leaned in the doorway, a smile playing on her lips. "You heard right. He told me everything. He said you were never enough." Her words cut deeper than the cold air. "Never enough." I whispered. She tilted her head. "You gave him comfort, sure. But comfort isn't passion. He wanted more, and I gave it to him." Clutched the suitcase handle. "You can keep him. Both of you deserve each other." Vanessa smirked. "We already have him. You're the one leaving with nothing." Pushed past them, dragging the suitcase down the stairs. The wheels bumped against each step like the echo of my broken heart. At the front door, I paused. "Ethan, I hope one day you choke on everything you threw away." He didn't answer. He didn't even look at me. Outside, the night air was freezing. My chest felt hollow, my face burning with shame. I kept walking until my legs ached. Finally, I called Lily. My voice cracked. "Can I come over?" Her tone sharpened instantly. "What happened?" "Where are you?" I left." Ethan, he told. "Me too. Go." Vanessa was there. She said I was never enough. Her breath caught on the line. "That bastard. Come here right now." "Don't care how late it is. I don't want to be a burden." "You're not," she snapped. "You're my best friend. Where are you?" I gave her the street name, and minutes later, her car pulled up. She rushed out, eyes wide with worry. "You look like hell," she whispered, pulling me into a hug. "I feel worse." I murmured against her shoulder. She helped me with the suitcase. "Forget him. Forget that house. You're staying with me." "All right." Apartment was small but warm. She made tea and set it in front of me. I stared at the steam, unable to lift the cup. "Talk to me," she urged. I shook my head. He said I was convenient, that I brought nothing. And Vanessa, she said I was never enough. Lily's hands tightened into fists. "She's nothing but a parasite. And him, a coward who can't value what he had." Tears spilled down my cheeks. Then why do I still feel like I'm the problem? Like maybe they're right. She grabbed my hand firmly. "No, don't you dare let his poison define you. If you gave him love, loyalty, and years of your life, he didn't deserve you," I whispered. "But I don't even know who I am anymore. Without him, without that house, I'm nothing." Eyes softened. "You are not nothing. You've just forgotten who you are, and maybe know it's time to remember." I swallowed hard. "What if I can't?" "Then I'll remind you," she said firmly. We sat in silence, the clock ticking. In the background, finally, I whispered, "I feel like shattered glass. Pieces everywhere. Then we'll pick them up," she said gently. "One piece at a time." That night, lying on her couch, I stared at the ceiling. My chest was heavy, my mind replaying. Ethan's smirk, Vanessa's sneer, never enough. Take what you need. Q with dignity. I closed my eyes, suffocating under the weight of it all. But somewhere beneath the pain, a faint thought flickered. I was still breathing, had walked away, and maybe, just maybe, that meant I could survive. Lily slid a flyer across the kitchen table. "They're hiring part-time at that little bookstore cafe downtown. Want me to drive you?" I frowned at the paper. "Me? Working at a cafe? You need something," she said firmly. "Anything. To get you out of bed before noon?" I sighed. "What if I fail?" "Then you fail." she said with a shrug. But at least you tried. So I went. The smell of coffee and old books hit me the second I stepped in. A kind-looking woman behind the counter smiled. "You're here for the job." "Yes," I whispered. "Dodd." She handed me an apron. "Start. Today you'll learn on the job." By the end of my first shift, I was exhausted, but a customer smiled as I handed him change. "Thank you, miss," he said warmly. I blinked. "You're welcome." It had been so long since anyone thanked me without bitterness attached. That night, I told Lily, "People treat me better here than Ethan ever did." She raised her glass of water. "Because you deserve respect, not scraps." I nodded, clutching my small pay envelope. It wasn't much, but it felt like mine. A few days later, an older man sat by the corner table, reading quietly. His hair was silver, his hands steady. When I cleared his cup, he spoke without looking up. "You carry yourself like someone carrying a burden too heavy." I froze. "Excuse me?" He set his book down. "You walk like the world broke you. Am I wrong?" I swallowed hard. "Maybe not." He gave a faint smile. "Scars aren't weakness, girl. They're proof you endured." I stared at him, unable to answer. "Name's Bennett," he said, offering his hand. "I own this place." "You do?" I shook his hand cautiously. He nodded. "And I know the look of someone starting over." "Don't be ashamed of it," I whispered. "I feel like I'm starting from ashes." "Good," he said simply. "Ashes mean you survived the fire." Later that evening, I sat with Lily on the couch. She eyed me. "You're smiling." "Why?" "I met the owner," I said softly. "Mr. Bennett, he told me scars prove I endured." She grinned. "Wise man, you should listen." I pulled out a small notebook. On the first page, I wrote, "One day he'll regret this." Lily noticed. "What's that?" "My journal," I said. "I'm going to write it every night." "Revenge?" she asked. "Maybe not revenge," I whispered. "Just a promise to myself." The next day at work, Mr. Bennett stopped me while I wiped a table. "What do you write at night?" I froze. "How did you have the eyes of someone with a ritual," he said. "So, what do you write?" I hesitated. "That one day he'll regret what he did." He leaned back in his chair. "Be careful. Anger fuels you, yes, but it burns fast. Build something steadier." "I don't know how," I admitted. He chuckled softly. "You'll learn, step by step." That evening, I replayed his words while journaling. For the first time, I added a second line, "But I'll be stronger whether he sees it or not," at closing time. A customer smiled at me as I handed her bag of books. "You're very kind," she said. I blinked again, surprised at the warmth. Walking home with Lily, I whispered, "Strangers see more in me than Ethan ever did." "That's because Ethan chose not to see," she said, "but others will." I hugged my notebook closer to my chest. For the first time since leaving the house, the flicker inside me grew. Maybe, just maybe, I wasn't as pitiful as Ethan claimed. The cafe buzzed with soft chatter and clinking cups. I wiped down a table, but my eyes wandered to a couple near the window, their fingers laced together, laughter spilling easily. My chest tightened. Lily noticed when I got home that evening. "You're quiet. What's wrong?" "Couples," I muttered. "Everywhere, holding hands like the world can't break them." She sighed. "Not every love story ends like yours." "Mine didn't end," I whispered bitterly. "It shattered." She sat beside me. "Then let the pieces go." I shook my head. "I don't just want to heal, Lily. I want Ethan to see me rise. I want him to choke on regret." Her eyes narrowed. "That's dangerous. Revenge will chain you." "Maybe," I admitted. "But it's the only thing that keeps me moving." The next afternoon at the cafe, a man ordered coffee and a book. He was a regular tall, quiet with an aura of calm. I had seen him before, always working on his laptop. When I handed him his order, he looked at me carefully. "You seem distant today." I blinked. "Excuse me?" "You didn't smile." Last week, you did. I hesitated. Maybe I didn't. Have a reason today? He nodded slightly. Fair enough. Later, as he packed his laptop, he paused. I'm Adrian. I wiped the counter nervously. I know I mean you come here often. His lips curved faintly. And you are? Someone who serves coffee, I muttered. His brows lifted. It's all you think you are. I busied myself with cups. It's all I feel like right now. He didn't push. Coffee was good. Thank you. That night, Lily raised an eyebrow. You're blushing. I am not, I snapped. You are, she teased. What happened? Nothing. Just a customer. Adrian who? I don't know. Some businessman, I think. Quiet. Not like Ethan. Lily smirked. And nothing, I said quickly. He noticed I wasn't smiling. That's it. Her expression softened. Maybe someone noticing you isn't nothing. I lay awake later, staring at the ceiling. Why did his words linger? The following week, Adrian stopped by again. As I set down his drink, he asked gently, Rough day? I sighed. Every day feels rough. He studied me. Whoever hurt you, they must have been a fool. My chest tightened. You don't even know me. I don't need to, he said simply. It's obvious you carry more than you should. I looked away. Shouldn't say things like that. It unsettles me. Why? 'Cause I don't feel worthy of anyone's kindness. He was silent for a moment. Then maybe that's what you need most. I froze, unable to reply. That evening, Lily poked me while I journaled. So, did he come in again? Yes, I muttered, and he said the person who hurt me was a fool. She smiled. He's right. I closed the notebook. I don't feel ready for anyone's attention. Not his. Not anyone's. That's okay, Lily said softly. But don't shut out kindness. You deserve it even if you don't believe it yet. Her words echoed in my chest. I still wrote the same line in my journal. One day, heal. Regret this, but for the first time. I wondered if regret was enough. Mr. Bennett called me into his office one evening after closing. His desk was cluttered with receipts and coffee-stained notebooks. You've been working hard, he said. I shifted nervously. I'm just doing what I can. He studied me with those sharp eyes of his. More than that, you've kept this. Place running when I couldn't. Staff trust you. Customers respect you. I blinked. Thank you, but he raised a hand. No buts. I want you to take a managerial role. More responsibility, better pay. My breath caught. Manager me. Why not you? He asked, do you doubt yourself that much? I lowered my gaze. I guess I do. Then stop. His tone was firm but kind. Take the role. Prove to yourself what I already see. I swallowed hard. Okay, I'll do it. That night, I told Lily. She nearly spilled her tea. Manager. That's huge. It feels unreal, I admitted. It's not unreal, she said. It's the result of you not giving up. I'm proud of you. Her words warmed me in a way I hadn't felt in a long time. The next week, I signed up for evening classes business. Courses at the community center. Lily beamed when I told her. You're rebuilding, she said, piece by piece. I'm trying, I whispered. At the cafe, Adrian continued to appear, always at his corner table. Oh. Sometimes he'd glance. At me, sometimes he'd start small talk. One afternoon, he asked, why take night classes after working all day? I hesitated, 'cause I gave up too much for someone who didn't deserve it. I don't want to lose myself again. His expression softened. That's brave. It doesn't feel brave, I admitted. It feels desperate. Desperation can still build something, he said quietly. I've seen it. I looked away quickly, unsettled by his attention. Why do you notice so much? He chuckled. Maybe because you tried too hard not to be noticed. I froze, unsure how to respond. That evening, Lily teased me. So, Adrian? Again, I groaned. Please don't start. I'm just saying, he clearly sees something in you. I don't want him to, I muttered. I'm not ready. She touched my hand. That's fine. Don't push people away forever. Weeks passed. Between work, classes, and late nights journaling, I began to change. I ate better, moved more, slept deeper. My shoulders straightened. My skin brightened. One day, I caught my reflection in the cafe window. For a moment, I didn't recognize myself. Adrian noticed too. You look different, he said softly. How? I asked stronger, like you're standing taller than before. I laughed awkwardly. Maybe it's just the coffee. Or maybe, he said gently, it's you. That night, Lily pointed at me as I brushed my hair in her bathroom. Look, at you? You're glowing. I rolled my eyes. Just less exhausted. No, she insisted. You're becoming someone else. Someone who doesn't tremble anymore. Her words lingered as I stared at my reflection. Later, I told Mr. Bennett about my classes. Good, he said, nodding. Education sharpens what resilience builds. I feel alive again, I admitted. That's because you've stopped living for someone else's approval, he said. You're living for yourself. I went home that night and stood in front of the mirror. My hair fell differently around my face, my eyes clearer, sharper. My posture no longer sagged with shame. For the first time, I whispered aloud, I am not the woman who begged to stay. But even as the words filled me with pride, a hollow ache remained. Closure, I still wanted him then to see me like. This to know I wasn't pitiful anymore. I clenched my fists and whispered to my reflection, one day, he will. The ballroom shimmered with golden light, chandeliers scattering diamonds across polished floors. I tugged at the hem of my borrowed dress, nerves prickling under my skin. Adrian leaned closer, his voice calm. Relax, you belong here. I forced a breath. Easy for you to say? This is your company's gala. And you're my guest, he reminded me. That makes you important. I glanced at him, uneasy. I don't feel important. Then let me show you that you are, he said softly. I tried to smile. But my chest tightened when I spotted a familiar figure across the room. Ethan dotted beside him. Vanessa in a glittering red gown, my throat closed. He's here, Adrian. Followed my gaze, then met my eyes. Do you want to leave? I straightened my shoulders. No, not this time. Ethan's eyes found me. His smirk faltered, replaced by something else shock. Vanessa's lips curled into a sneer. Well. She tugged him closer, then approached. My heart pounded, but I kept my chin high. Look at you, Vanessa said. Her tone dripping with false sweetness. Who would have thought? From pitiful housewife to whatever this is. I met her gaze evenly. This is called standing again. Her smile twitched, insecure. Don't flatter yourself. You're just dressed up for one night. Adrian's hand rested lightly on my back. Actually, he said smoothly, she's the reason people are noticing us tonight. Confidence suits her. Ethan's jaw tightened. You've changed. I tilted my head. You mean I'm not trembling anymore? His eyes darkened. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? I asked, my voice calm despite the storm inside. Vanessa cut in quickly. Don't waste your breath, Ethan. She's irrelevant. Adrian chuckled softly. Funny, she doesn't look irrelevant. Heat flushed my cheeks, but I didn't look away. Ethan's eyes lingered on me. You've become someone else. I held his gaze. Someone without you. Vanessa scoffed, gripping his arm tighter. Don't act like you're above us. We know who you really are. I smiled faintly. Do you? She faltered, her confidence slipping. Adrian leaned closer to me, whispering, You're winning? My chest thudded, but I masked it with a steady breath. Ethan's voice dropped. I didn't expect to see you here. Life is full of surprises, I said. He hesitated, then asked quietly, Are you happy? The question sliced through me, but I didn't let it show. Happier than I ever was in your house. Vanessa stiffened, eyes narrowing. Don't pretend you're better. You're still nothing without him. I stepped closer, my voice steady. If that were true, why do I stand taller now than I ever did with him? Her face flushed. She turned, tugging Ethan's arm. Come on, she's not worth it. But Ethan didn't move. His eyes stayed on me, full of something I couldn't name: regret, maybe, or confusion. Finally, I whispered, enjoy your evening, Ethan. Adrian guided me away, his presence grounding me. When we reached the edge of the room, I exhaled shakily. My heart won't stop racing. You were brilliant, he said. I felt like I was going to collapse. But you didn't. You stood. And you left them shaken. I pressed a hand to my chest. For the first time, I felt the shift. Like I wasn't the one begging anymore. You're not, Adrian said gently. You never were. You just didn't see it. I looked at him, overwhelmed. Thank you. You don't need to thank me, he said. You did this yourself. As the music swelled around us, I stood taller, steadier. Ethan's eyes still burned across the room, but for once, they didn't break me. For the first time since losing. Everything I felt power returned to me. Lily set her phone down with a sharp laugh. You're going to love this. Ethan's company. It's tanking. He's drowning in debt. I froze. What? She nodded. I heard from Jenna, her cousin works at his office. Apparently Vanessa's been spending money like water. And investors are pulling out. A strange rush filled me. So he's finally paying the price. Lily smirked. Karma. And get this, rumors say Vanessa cheats on him? Same way she tempted him from you. My chest tightened. He deserves it. Every piece of it. Exactly, she said. So don't you dare answer when he comes crawling. I frowned. Why would he? 'Cause men like him always do. Lily said flatly. She wasn't wrong. That night, my phone buzzed. Unknown number, I answered cautiously. Hello? His voice was hesitant. Ethan, my hand went cold. Why are you calling me? I wanted to talk. There's nothing left to say. Please, he pressed. Just one conversation. I made mistakes. I hung up the next day. Mr. Bennett noticed my distracted state. You look unsettled. What's wrong? Ethan called. I admitted quietly. His brow furrowed and hung up. But part of me, I trailed off. He leaned forward. Part of you, what? Part of me wanted to hear him beg. Mr. Bennett's voice sharpened. Reopening old wounds destroys progress. Don't forget that. I sighed. But isn't it justice to watch him fall? Justice doesn't come from looking back, he said firmly. It comes from moving forward. His words weighed on me. But when my phone buzzed again that evening, another message from Ethan, I felt the storm return. I'm sorry. I need to see you. I shoved the phone away. Later, Adrian found me cleaning tables long after closing. You're restless, he said gently. I glanced at him. Why do you always notice? Because you wear your battles on your face, he said. It's what happened. Ethan keeps reaching out, I admitted. Adrian's expression tightened. And you're tempted to answer. I didn't deny it. He folded his arms. You deserve better than old ashes. Old ashes, I repeated softly. That's all he is, Adrian said. Burnt out promises. Don't let him set fire to you again. His words cut deep, steady, and kind. That night, Lily spotted me staring at my phone. Don't you dare, she warned. I whispered, but what if hearing him break gives me closure? She slammed her glass down. Closure doesn't come from him, Kay. It comes from you. You already left once. Don't walk back into the fire. I rubbed my temples. Why is it so hard to ignore him? Because he still lives in your wounds, she said softly. But wounds heal when you stop scratching them. I stared at the phone in silence. Another message buzzed. I regret everything. Please meet me. My hands shook, torn between anger and temptation. Mr. Bennett's wisdom echoed. Scars aren't weakness, they're proof you endured. Adrian's voice whispered, "You deserve better than old ashes." Lily's plea rang. "Don't walk back into the fire," I whispered to myself. So, why do I still want to see him burn with my own eyes? The cafe I chose for the meeting was quiet, tucked away from curious eyes. My hands trembled as I wrapped them around the warm cup, waiting. The door opened and Ethan walked in. His shoulders sagged, his eyes darker than I remembered. "Thank you for coming," he said softly, sliding into the seat across from me. I didn't answer. He leaned forward. "You look different. Stronger, beautiful." I stirred my coffee slowly. He exhaled. "I know I don't deserve this chance, but I need to say a time, sorry." My silence stretched between us. "I was a fool," he continued. "Vanessa wasn't who I thought she was. She drained me, betrayed me. She never cared." "You," his voice cracked. "You were the one who cared." I watched his lips move, but inside my chest the storm raged. "I thought leaving you would give me happiness," he said, shaking his head. "But it gave me nothing. I lost everything, and it's my fault." I raised my eyes but said nothing. He searched my face. "Don't you have anything to say?" I took a sip of coffee, still silent. His desperation grew. "I still love you, you know? I never stopped." My fingers tightened on the cup. "I blamed you back then because it was easier than admitting I was weak. Vanessa," she laughed at me behind my back. "She cheated. She left when the money was gone. But you were loyal. You stood by me. I threw you away." I let his words hang in the air. My lips pressed tight. "Please," he whispered, leaning forward. "Tell me you can forgive me." My heart twisted, but my voice refused to move. "I'll do anything," he begged. "I'll prove it. I'll change. I can give you the life you deserve now that I understand what I lost." Inside, war raged. Part of me wanted to spit venom to make him feel the pain he gave me. Another part wanted to breathe, to finally let it all go. I thought of Lily's voice. "Closure doesn't come from him. It comes from you." I heard Mr. Bennett. "Scars aren't weakness. They're proof you endured." I remembered Adrian's steady words, "You deserve better than old ashes." Ethan reached across the table suddenly, his hand covering mine. His eyes shone with desperation. "Come back to me. I need you." My chest clenched, memories crashing back the night. I begged him not to throw me away. His smirk, Vanessa's sneer. Finally, I spoke, my voice sharp. "You need me?" "Yes," he whispered, "more than ever." I pulled my hand back slowly. "Funny, I needed you once too, and you left me in the dark." He winced. "I was blind." "No," I said coldly. "You saw me clearly. You just didn't care." His shoulders shook. "Please, I can't lose you again." I stood, my chair scraping softly against the floor. "You already did." His face crumbled, tears welling. "Don't walk away. Not again." I looked down at him, my chest heavy but steady. "The woman who begged for you is gone. All that's left is someone who doesn't need your love, your apology, or your presence." His lips parted, but no. Words came. I turned, walking toward the door. Behind me, his voice broke in a whisper. "I still love you." I didn't look back. For the first time, silence was mine and it was power. Ethan sat across from me, his eyes swollen from sleepless nights. The silence between us felt like a battlefield. He broke it first. "I meant what I said last time. I still love you." I steadied my voice. "Love. You don't get to use that word with me." He flinched. "I know I destroyed us. But can't we start over?" I shook my head. "You didn't just destroy us. You destroyed me. And I had to rebuild without you." His hands trembled on the table. "Then let me help rebuild now." I leaned forward. "You want the truth, Ethan? I'm not the woman you left." He stared. at me, confused. What do you mean? The pitiful wife who begged to stay in your house? She's gone, I said firmly. She died the night you told me I was nothing. His face paled. I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. I cut him off. You meant every word, and those words carved me open until I bled, but they also forced me to rise. Tears welled in his eyes. I regret it every day. I was blind, selfish. Stop. My voice cracked like a whip. Your regret doesn't heal me. It doesn't erase the nights I lay awake, wondering why I wasn't enough. He whispered, you were enough. I was the one who wasn't. I shook my head. No, you knew exactly what you were doing. You left me for her. You told her I was pathetic. You laughed at my pain. And now that your world collapsed, you want me back? His lips trembled. Because you're the only one who ever loved me, and you threw that love away. He reached for my hand desperately. Please don't walk away again. I pulled back. I don't need your love. I don't need your apology. And I don't need your presence. His face crumbled. So that's it. After everything we shared? Yes. My voice didn't shake. That's it. He bent his head, tears falling. I can't lose you again. You already did, I said quietly. The weight in my chest began to lift as I stood. My spine felt straighter than ever, my heart steadier. He looked up at me, broken. I don't deserve forgiveness, do I? No, I whispered, and I don't owe it to you. I turned toward the door. His voice cracked behind me. You'll regret leaving me like this? I stopped for a moment, then looked back at him one last time. The only regret I have is wasting years on a man who didn't. See my worth? His shoulders collapsed. I walked out, each step heavier with finality but lighter with freedom. The night air wrapped around me as I pushed through the door. The old Mitha woman who trembled, who begged, was gone. I chose myself, and it was enough. Lily leaned against her kitchen counter, watching me sip tea. So you finally told him? Did I? Said, my voice calm. I told Ethan I don't need his love, his apology, or his presence. Her eyes softened. And how do you feel? Free? I whispered. Not because I hurt him, but because I chose myself. For the first time, I feel lighter. She smiled proudly. That's the woman I always knew you could be. Later, at the cafe, Mr. Bennett caught me humming as I organized books. You're different today, he remarked. Different how? I asked. Your shoulders are straight. Your eyes don't carry the same weight, he said. You've accepted your scars. I smiled faintly. They don't feel ugly anymore. He nodded. That's because scars aren't weakness. They're proof you endured. And now you're stronger than them. His words filled me with warmth. That evening, Adrian stopped me as I locked up. You seem lighter, he said softly. I am, I admitted. I finally closed the door. His gaze lingered on me. And does closing it mean you're ready to open another? I hesitated, then smiled. Maybe, for the first time, maybe. He returned the smile, quiet but full of promise. Walking home, I breathed in the night air. The past no longer clung to me like chains. I thought about the woman who once trembled in Ethan's house, begging to stay. She was gone. I whispered into the dark, steady and sure. He thought the house defined me, but I've rebuilt a home inside myself. She walked out pitiful, but I rose powerful. And now I walk forward, never looking back.